Welcome back, everybody. It's Let's Debate Basketball. We celebrate basketball culture and everyone who contributed to the game. Today, we got Malik Kindle. My name is Aaron Wilson. Assad couldn't make it today. He had a dentist appointment, but we're still going to get into this. It's going to be a legendary interview. We got Malik Kindle, American actor. So let's get into it. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be here. It's surreal. Watching this on YouTube and then being in it I like it.
I mean, we got Malik Kindle on the show. That's a big deal. It's hard to contact you these days.
I'm sorry about that, man. You know, I'll be busy, but I'm glad we was able to connect on this.
So, even though you're an actor now, this is a sports podcast. Let's talk about how you got into playing sports. I know you come from a big sports family. Basically, everybody goes to D1. So, how did you even start playing basketball when you were a little kid and all the other sports you played?
So, actually, before I played basketball, I was doing football for literally like a year and a half, because that's like where my family goes. Like all the guys go to football. And I wasn't feeling it that much. So then I was already playing basketball with, my friends and family and all that around the neighborhood. And then my mom heard about this organization called Brotherhood Crusade. And I'm not sure. Classics, man. Yeah, all the OG Pasadena's know about that. But yeah, so we they had like tryouts for their youngest teams and all that, and tried out, got on the team. I don't remember what position I played that first year, but at least I wasn't on the bench. That's all I remember. And yeah, so kind of from there, played basketball for about 4 or 5 years. And so maybe from when I was like 6 to 10 ish. And then, just kind of kept it going behind the scenes, not as much like on the teams, but you're in the hood, you play basketball with the homies and all that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But growing up in Pasadena and all that, man, there's a lot of hoopers that are really good that should be going to play in D1 and all that. What happens to them? Like, I know you've seen it firsthand growing up in that city, but what happens to Pasadena hoopers? Is it coaching, is it personal, or just the environment?
I think it's a mixture of all of that. Mainly having to do with the things that the environment forces on you, as far as like depression from like homies getting locked up or homies getting killed and all that kind of stuff. It gets really distracting, and only those who are the most dedicated and the most into it, the passionate about the sport, really stay in it, because for the rest of them, life kind of takes over, and you don't really find yourself you don't really find basketball or sports as important as they once were to you, because of everything else going around. So I think it's a mixture.
I thought of Spencer right there. Homie's getting killed, homie's getting locked up. That's like just from the show.
Hey, bro, it's facts. It's based on a true story. So I mean, the history repeats itself.
True that. So I know you come from a sports family. How did your family take it? Like, once you're like, I don't want to play sports, I want to get more into acting. In our households, man, it's like, you got to play a sport. If you want to live here, you got to play a sport. So how did your parents or family take it when you say, I want to get into acting?
Yo, that's a great question. I've never been asked that. And it's funny. Really, so both my mom and dad weren't here for it. My mom loves like watching sports and loves like cheering people on. And my dad, he played sports his whole life, then became a football coach, became a basketball coach, baseball coach, all that. His whole life is sports. So once he heard that I wanted to become an actor, in the hood, acting is seen as like sissy stuff and like, hold up. So
he's fruity, like stuff like that.
Facts.
Especially if you got talent too. Even if you got talent, that's what they say.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't back then. I mean, I was around 5. And I didn't even, so my compromise was to play a different sport while also pursuing acting, if that makes sense. So I was doing musicals and plays from the time I was 5 to 16. And usually a play or something will only last about 3 months, and it's not during basketball season or baseball season or any of that. So that's how I got into basketball, because I was doing musicals and plays, when I wasn't doing the whole play, the acting thing. So, slowly but surely, my family got, they started seeing that I was serious about it and that I was good at it and that I was happy for once. And, I was happy playing basketball, but I didn't have the passion for it.
I feel you.
It wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm also really like stubborn. And
Mm-hmm.
so, once I put my mind to something, once I put my heart to something, nobody can deter me. So, my family telling me like, oh, you should continue playing sports, like, forget this whole acting thing. I was like, no, forget y'all type thing. So
Mm-hmm.
like even at 5, I was really strong in my belief that acting is what I was born and meant to do. So yeah, um, I would compromise with that. But then, after a while, the sports started, like the training, because you don't just play sports when you on the court, when you at practice. It's a
Mm-hmm.
full lifetime thing. So, the training for it, going to the gym all the time to, shoot, to do any of that, it was interfering. So I
Mm-hmm.
finally had to, like man up at like 7 type
Yeah.
stuff. I finally had to man up to tell them like, yo, this is not what I want to do. And this is what I'm not gonna do with my life. So, finally they, I wouldn't say they accepted it, but
They understood. They respected it.
yeah, exactly, type stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that my dad always hoped that I would come back to sports, after seeing how hard acting is,
Mm-hmm.
because it is not a game type stuff.
Oh, it's real life out there in acting.
Yeah,
Make
man,
somebody go crazy.
truly. I
But
mean, you seen it.
what would you tell a kid that was in your position that was playing sports to get forced to play sports and they want to do something like acting or singing, something in the arts? What would you tell them how would they go about that in their life?
Um, Honestly, so whether or not you're, male or female or anything like that, I think that you being sure in yourself first, like talking to yourself and telling yourself that this is what you want to do, or at least what you want to try, what you want to
Mm-hmm.
pursue. I feel like that's key first, because you're gonna have naysayers even outside your
Mm-hmm.
family, and inside your family type stuff. So you're gonna have naysayers. You're gonna have all these people that are trying to deter you from, the path of singing, acting, arts, anything like that. Even like computer programming type stuff, like anything.
Mm-hmm.
um you're gonna have people that want you to do something else. And so first, you have to find that passion inside you to grow that, to like dig deep down and really just go for it. Like no hesitation, no, oh, New Year's resolution, I'm gonna wait till the new year to start doing this. Like don't wait, go for it. And as far as your family, just keep talking to them,
Mm-hmm.
keep strong and keep telling them like, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is where my heart tells me. And if you really support me, as your son, your daughter, your brother, sister, any of that, um then you'll be happy for me, and not try to push your dreams on me, because I have my own
Mm-hmm.
dreams and I'm excited to pursue that. So yeah, just stay strong, don't back down, because I know it's hard to stand up to older people, especially when they're your parents. But you know you have to really remember that what you want for your life is, it's about your life, and it's about um your dreams. And as far as, I mean, as long as you're not doing anything bad, like selling drugs, gang stuff like that, then they really shouldn't have an issue with you going towards a different path of happiness than what they
Mm-hmm.
plan for you. Because at the end of the day, you're your own individual, and you weren't born here to be a carbon copy of your parents.
Mm-hmm. That's real stuff right there. But let's
Thank you.
let's get into the meat and potatoes. Has your sports background helped you in your acting field? Because we all know you were in a show All American. Has that coexisted, helped you get into the field a little bit better, or?
Actually, yeah, 100%. It's a weird blessing, because in sports they train you to have to have discipline, to have perseverance, and to be a good sport when you lose. And one of the best things about that is that when you have that background, that stuff doesn't just leave you when you put it to another field. So um, on a personal level, like as a person, that helped me to really stay strong in what I believe and to continue pursuing after getting no after no after no after no. But as far as the acting side of that, yeah, my football background with how I train and with my skills as a football player and all that definitely helped me get on that field and get on that camera on All American specifically. And yeah, it's actually helped her a lot. Like the first commercial I did was a Nike campaign with Michael B. Jordan way back in like 2015, 16. And the whole reason I got that was because I did an audition for some basketball company. And I didn't get it, but that video of my audition got passed to Nike, and Nike was like, yo, I like his skills. I like the way he dribbles. I like the way he does all that kind of stuff. So, let's try him out. Let's have him do this commercial. So they hit me up and was like, hey, we want you for this part. You don't have to audition. You don't have to do none of that. We already saw you. Just show up here on this day and let's do this. So definitely my sports background kind of paved the way for me to do this. So yeah, I kind of owe everything to my parents for that, to my family for that, for pushing me with that.
All right, so let's talk about the All American. Who we exposing? And I'm playing. Man, what's it like? What's it like being on set though for a show that big? It's getting pretty popular now. That's actually I feel like it's the best show on CW to be honest. And what's it like being an actor on that show?
Um, I'm gonna answer that question in two parts. The first part, I guess, being on set, they're a family. It's the biggest like family feel from day one that I ever felt there. And excuse me, my first episode that I was on was episode 8 of season 1, something like that. And so the show was already on for I think like 2 episodes, and so excuse me, I was a fan of the show before I was even on it. So I was coming on there as a fan, freaking out, being like, oh my God, Tay Diggs, and like old school actors type. So I was freaking out inside, on my way to set that day. And as soon as I show up, it's people, messing around with each other, messing around with the directors, the producers, and like all these people who stereotypically are super serious. So, so yeah, it really turned into a type of thing of, where it was effortless. Being on set with them, it was so easy to get to work, but then to also have fun. They have this weird balance of play and work, and it just meshes together, and it's so beautiful. And so
that's probably why the show is so good. To be honest, the show does feel like a family show. You really feel it.
Yeah, and you can definitely, like you said, you can feel that through the screen. And so the longer we were on set with them, even as background and doing all that, the more we became friends with them. And it was like seeing them on screen, like the lead character, Spencer, his real name is Daniel. We call him Danny on set and all that. And so it got to the point where when I was talking to people offset, talking about the show and all that, I would say Danny or Daniel, or talk about Mike, who plays Jordan, and all that. So you really get confused about the characters and the actual person behind it, because you've built this relationship with them, but they also play this character on screen. So that's how it is on set. Offset completely changed my life type stuff. It's really kind of, it's weird. People are starting to see me as this like
God,
as this like dude who made it out. I mean, it's low key, but it's weird because I definitely haven't earned that yet. I'm not even like, I haven't even really started my career yet when it comes to acting. Like I feel so much more inside me. I know that there's so much more to do. And so, you know, with people seeing me on TV and with people seeing me on Netflix and all that kind of stuff, it it opened up doors for me to be able to audition for more things, for to be
Yeah.
able to get more things, and it really pushed me as far as like my acting ability, because going back to how it is on set, sometimes I'll run lines with them and I'll tell, and just because they're great actors, that iron sharpens iron, and I become a better actor. I find out more like tricks and more tips of just like how to do it. Um, and so yeah, it's just definitely it's surreal, because when I'm on set with them, it don't feel like, you know, I'm this like Pasadena hero or whatever. It just feels like I'm doing what I love. It feels like I'm being around people that I've grown to love, that we're like I said before, we're a family type thing. And so yeah, but then when I come off set and people start asking me questions about the show and all this other things that I don't even know, because I'm not big in the show yet, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's surreal, and it still takes getting used to, even like 2 years
Yeah.
into it.
So now, since we talked about All American, I know you can't really say much on it because you gotta keep it hush hush. But where's 2021 going for your acting? You know, COVID hit, probably not as much shoots and stuff like there were in 2020 and before. So where do you think acting's going for 2021 for actors that you like you?
Um, it's weird. It's definitely a different avenue. But it's impressive how well the community and the entertainment industry as a whole has kind of adjusted to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't say what it's for, but even right now, after this, I have to work on an audition for an ad, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a self-tape type thing where you grab your phone or your computer or whatever, and you record yourself with doing the audition, and you send it in to this link.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you I feel like, at least for the foreseeable future, for a little bit, acting as a whole will kind of be a little more digital than in person.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you also have different shows who are able to maneuver around it. Like, I've been on a couple shows since COVID hit. I don't think legally I can say which ones yet,
Let's
but
not risk it. Don't even
um
try to risk it. It's
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Right. But for every one of those shows, I have to do 2 COVID tests before, each 2 days apart. So say I have to shoot on like Tuesday, I got to do a COVID test on Friday. I got to do another one on Sunday, and
Mm-hmm.
then the morning of, if I pass both of them, which is a negative result, then even the morning of, I have to do a rush test where I do a test and I get the results back in like 30, 40 minutes. And so they're like really crazy as far as precautions and setting boundaries and all that. Everybody's like 6 feet apart. It's like two people to like a table, and it's like a picnic table where it's like big type thing. You wear your mask on set at all times, and
Mm-hmm.
you only take it off right when they're yelling rolling, right before they yell action. You take it off, and then as soon as they yell cut, you put the mask right back on. So it's like, it's definitely different, and it takes some getting used to, but it's manageable. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful for the industry to continue to make bangers, and to continue to tell stories that need to be told.
True that. So that's all I had to ask today. I don't want to make it go too long. I know there's a lot of information you have, but is there anything you want to tell the people watching or anything you want to put out there?
uh First off, happy Black History Month.
That is true.
Should be year, but we're not gonna get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, first off with that, I guess the main thing I would want to say is, no matter what you want to do, whether it's acting, whether it's computers, whether it's dancing or anything, whether it's sports,
Mm-hmm.
don't give up. Don't give
Mm-hmm.
up, and don't get lazy, because you know it's really easy to say you do this thing without putting in the work behind the scene. And I'm guilty of this. You know, there was a good maybe year and a half where I'll tell people, yeah, I'm an actor, I was doing this, I do that, but I was working at Chick-fil-A. I wasn't putting the work behind the scenes. I wasn't training in acting. It's just what my heart told me I was, because that's who I am. But
Mm-hmm.
in order to call yourself something, you have to be able to prove that you're that. And so
Mm-hmm.
keep working hard, keep going for it, and don't get lazy. And then also give yourself a break sometimes, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the rest is even more important than the work, because you have to give yourself time to unravel and give yourself time to get back to 50% before you push yourself past that 100 and burn out, because that's a real thing that I've experienced too. um so yeah, I think those two things really, in everything you do, make sure that you work hard, but you give yourself that leeway to rest and to come back even stronger than you were before.
Like that. You're well spoken, brother. That's pretty
Thanks,
good. That was
fam.
pretty good. Well, let's debate basketball, everybody. I catch you guys next week on the next